Hi, and thanks for joining us on Total Vitality. Come with us as we explore how to live a life full of happiness, energy, and well-being. Be educated, be inspired, but most of all, be motivated to live a life as the healthiest version of you. This week we kick it off by chewing the fat with Georgia from Stirring Change and find out which fats really are good for us. Georgia, as a female and as a female who likes to look good and feel good, there were many years where I was listening to all of that information that was coming out about fats. Should you eat them? Shouldn't you eat them? Are they bad for you? Are they going to make you fat? Is this information that's really that important?
Absolutely not. So we've been misled, and it is very hard to undo programming. We've been brought up in the 80s, and for quite a few decades we've had misinformation floating around, and really at the hands of the regulatory bodies that are in charge of this information, they've based that on research which was not quite as efficient as it could be with rooting out the truth.
So why have we been told this then? Why have we been told that fats are so bad for us?
So it started in the 50s and 60s with a gentleman named Ansel Keys, and he did some research that happened to come to the conclusion that fat was correlated with heart disease. And industry got behind this, sort of jumped on this bandwagon, and it became the popular theory of the day. And unfortunately, some of the studies that he did have been disproven now, but the truth is still lingering around, and we haven't been able to shake that. So polyunsaturated oils come from vegetables, mostly plant sources, and they're often refined. So we see things like canola oil, corn oil, safflower, sunflower. All the vegetable oils that we see in the supermarket are actually polyunsaturated. And unfortunately, they're so highly refined, by the time we pick them off the shelf, it's actually not even really a food. So saturated fats are things like butter, even lard. These are foods that our grandparents ate. They used to eat bread and dripping. So that was actually a meal for them. We wouldn't think about doing that, but it might actually be healthier than the fats that we've been eating for the last few decades. And there's a fantastic cardiologist. His name is Dwight Lundell, and he's performed about 5,000 open heart surgeries in his day. So he's seen arteries from the inside, and he's come out saying that basically we've been wrong, and he admits to being one of the opinion makers of the day, doing what he does. And he's now saying that polyunsaturated oils and other sort of inflammatory agents are the problem. And what our body does is takes cholesterol, which is not necessarily a bad thing in itself. We need cholesterol, but cholesterol comes along and patches up the damage to the arteries, and that's why we think cholesterol's the bad guy, but it's actually just there as a band-aid. The real problem is what is causing the inflammation in the first place. So he's saying saturated fats are our best choice, actually.
Okay then, so which fats are the healthiest?
Well, contrary to popular belief, saturated fats are probably the most stable fats, and they do have a lot of benefit. They're the fats that we've been eating for millions of years. Traditional cultures ate about 30 to 80% of their diet was fat, which is much, much more than we're eating today, and they were healthy. And most of their fat content came from saturated fats. So we've been told for decades now that polyunsaturated fats are actually the healthiest, but that's again being disproven with current research.
And what other types of fats then should we include in our diet?
Okay, so a balance of healthy fats. And the number one fat that we should be avoiding, of course, is trans fats. And so that comes in things like processed foods, takeaway foods, also margarines. Choose butter over margarine. That's my one big piece of advice on this issue. But things like avocados, coconuts, nuts and seeds, foods that are close to nature are our best sorts of fats. The problem is really more the refining process.
Okay, so then which fats should we be just completely avoiding?
So the most dangerous ones are the ones that have been processed the most and refined the most. And unfortunately, whenever we go out to Chinese or Thai takeaway, a lot of the oils that they use in these takeaway foods are possibly genetically modified. A lot of the soy oil coming from America is genetically modified. and also highly refined. They're already completely rancid by the time they use them. And then they fry them at very high temperatures. And unfortunately, polyunsaturated oils are the least stable, and they need to be kept at a low temperature. So the most important ones to steer clear of are trans fats found in margarines, and also fried foods that we buy from places that may not be using the quality of the oil that we would like.
Okay, now avocados and coconuts, they're my two favourite fruits, and I eat them all the time, and everyone looks at me with a really funny look, like as if to say, you seriously eating that? Do you know how bad they are for you? But you mentioned them before, so tell me, are they bad or are they good for us?
They're fantastic. I don't even think we should limit those. I think you can eat those to your heart's content, literally. So avocados are one of my favourite types of fat. They're natural, they're unprocessed, first of all, and that's important. They're also a raw fat. So whenever we heat oils, we tend to change their structure a little bit. So when we're eating raw fats, that's really a healthy way to do it. So avocados have been shown to increase nutrient absorption. There were studies done where groups ate a salad with and without avocado, and the ones with avocado absorbed 5 times the amount of nutrients that the ones that didn't have the avocado on their salad. And avocados have actually been shown to protect against vision loss. They have the highest amount of lutein, which is a carotenoid found in all fruits, and so they're a wonderful choice. Coconuts are fantastic. They are a saturated fat, but they're a medium chain fatty acid. And what that means is that the body can actually break that down and digest it far quicker than the longer chain fatty acids that we find in animal fats. And so it's actually a fantastic clean energy source for the body. We actually burn that off faster than a carbohydrate, which is really unusual for fat. So it's one of my favorite choices, and it's fantastic for immune boosting properties as well. It's got lauric acid, which is found in breast milk as a nutrient, and caprylic acid. And it's also fantastic for boosting the metabolism. So it's ironic that we're so scared of saturated fats, particularly coconut. They use it now in weight loss programs to actually rev up our metabolism so that we burn things faster. So it's a fantastic choice. I love it.
To find out more about Georgia and the different types of fats, head to our website.
Hi there, I'm here to talk to you about one of the most revered anti-aging superfoods and super herbs in the world, the goji berry. Now, the goji is pure food for the immune system. It's a complete protein, high in iron and high in zeaxanthin for the eyes. Goji is the only fruit in the world that is a complete protein. It has an unbelievable 18 amino acids, which is unheard of. The only food that can stimulate human growth hormone, making it one of the most anti-aging foods in the entire world. In the Chinese herbal system, it is the #1 food for super eye health, due to it being very high in zeaxanthin. The most impressive thing about the goji berry, however, is its beautiful sweet taste, making it one of the easiest herbs and superfoods to start including in your diet today. So I invite you to bring it into your life through salads, desserts, chocolates, trail mixes, or my favourite way, just pop them in your mouth and enjoy it. I'll see you next time.
Yoga has increased in popularity over recent years, but there are a few different styles. Today we visit Bikram Yoga, Sutherland Shire, and turn up the heat. Here we are in the yoga studio, and we're joined by Nathan Dennett, who is the owner here at Bikram Yoga, Sutherland Shire. You're also an Australian champion, and you compete for Australia at an international level at the International Yoga Asana Championships.
That's right, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's a growing competitive sport at the moment in the Western world, and it's very exciting to have that under my belt and have the studio and everything coming together nicely.
Yeah. So tell us, there are quite a few different styles of yoga. So just explain to us, what is Bikram Yoga and how is it different to others?
Okay, Bikram Yoga was developed by Bikram Chowdhury, born in Calcutta, lives in America, in LA at the moment, and he's developed the 26 postures, 2 breathing exercises, and it's brought into a room that's heated up to about 38 degrees.
Right, okay, so 38 degrees, why that heat?
Okay, so that's about the temperature around what the body is already at, and it just allows us to start sweating, detoxifying, also lets the muscles become supple, and allows the veins and arteries to start opening up, clearing out, so that's vasodilation, really important for getting healthy blood around the body.
Okay, so how did you get into yoga and why Bikram?
I was in a car accident in 2002, but with a year of rehab and physio, and I was almost dragged into a Bikram Yoga class locally, and from day one it was the best thing that I'd had, post car accident in getting my health, not just physically, mentally, and getting the whole train back on the tracks and get going. So I've just kept it up since and just grown with it to become a teacher, a studio owner, a competitor, and it's just until it stops doing that, then I'll keep on going.
Yeah. Okay, so we hear a lot about yoga, how it's holistic, it sort of helps the body and the mind, and I guess also the emotions as well and all that sort of stuff. So can you just touch on a few of those benefits?
Okay, so with yoga, we find that the lengthening of muscles releases joints, allowing the body to be a bit more supple, a bit more relaxed. So different yoga styles, particularly Bikram with the heat, allows people to just stress less, develop de-stressing skills inside the room they can take outside the world as well.
For Bikram especially, would you say it's cardio, relaxation or toning?
It's a combination of all of them. I think Bikram Chowdhury has developed the series to really cater towards beginners, but also regular practitioners, advancing practitioners, where we can all go in and get the thing that we want, but again get added benefits. So if you're not flexible, you can't touch your toes, it doesn't matter. But in time, you learn to sort of stretch yourself and gain more. At the same time, there are sections in the class that are purely cardio. 10-second postures, get the heart rate right up. We're 15 minutes of running, we do it in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And it just works in those little steps. Come in for something, gain a lot more, and then you go outside and use it outside the room.
Okay, so talking about flexibility, I know you're extremely flexible and I want to see some of those moves soon. But how flexible do you have to be to start?
Not flexible at all. As I said, in the Bikram room, that heat will allow your muscles to become supple, and that allows for a little bit more flexibility than normally outside the yoga room. And then you're using those same 26 postures in every class, so you're going back and relearning and extending each time you come into those postures. So we have a lot of people that can't touch their toes, let alone touch their knees or get their arms up. And the Bikram series isn't about splits and getting feet behind the head. It is for the general fitness people who need it the most. And it is about just getting people moving and getting in touch with what their body can do and how they can improve it themselves.
Okay, well I'm going to do a class today with you for the first time in a long time. For those people that have never done Bikram or any sort of yoga before, what can they expect from a first class?
I would always suggest talk to the studio that you're going to. Different styles of yoga will ask for different things, what kind of clothing to wear. They may have mats or they may have different bolsters, and ask what kind of style that studio is teaching. For the Bikram studios, you'll always have them ask you to drink water throughout the day, wear comfortable clothing that you can move around in, not too many layers because they get caught and there's lots of sweat flinging around, and just keep it open mind. People sort of have a thought of yoga being only an hour long and in an air-conditioned room with 5 people. But you can go into certain studios, and especially a lot of Bikram studios, and you're getting 30 plus people in a room all enjoying themselves through the yoga class, and there will be all different levels in that room as well. So it's just nice to ask what do they want from you first and then cater towards that style.
Perfect. Okay, well just in closing, tell us, why do you love Bikram Yoga so much?
I love the heat. I think the body craves heat. It's a warm-blooded, and I love the movements. There's lots to learn. Yoga is a slow medicine. It takes time, and I think for a lot of people, they give up too quickly. Whereas for me, I love to learn, and I love to learn more and more and more. So the practice is just ongoing forever.
To learn more about Bikram or to find a studio near you, head to our website.
In nature, the tomato most resembles the heart, and from the outside, the tomato resembles the heart in colour, and the juice is red like the blood in the heart. The stem that connects it to the vine resembles the pulmonary artery of the heart, giving it life and support. And when it's cut open, you'll notice the tomato has 4 chambers, 2 higher and 2 lower, exactly like the heart. All of the research of modern time has shown that tomatoes are great heart food. Okay, so tell me, which of these words are the odd ones out? Decadent, rich, creamy, chocolate, dessert, healthy, guilt-free. Well, it might come as a surprise that you really can use all of those words in the same sentence, and today Sandra from Raw Love Superfood shows us how. Now, I wanted you in here because your favourite word really is decadence, isn't it?
It is decadence, yes. I like to eat really well,
Yeah.
but I also like to have really beautiful tasting decadent food in my diet. I don't think that we need to restrict on that kind of food.
That's it. So we want something healthy, but we want something that we actually enjoy eating.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and something that does something for our body. And I mean, if we don't like the taste of it, it won't really do that for us either. So I think it's.
So I'm really excited about today's recipe. What are we cooking?
Well, today we're making a beautiful raw chocolate mousse. And we're going to be using some beautiful avocados and a range of superfoods. So that certainly will be decadent.
Good. Yes. Okay. Well, run us through what exactly we've got here.
Okay, well here we've got some chia seeds. Now chia seeds, I've actually soaked them in a little bit of water because they become gelatinous, and that actually is going to help thicken the mousse, and they're very high in protein, and they're also very high in omega-3s, so it's fantastic to, as
Very nutritious.
to add in. Got some lovely coconut water there, which has got the beautiful sweet coconut, a slight coconut flavour. It's great for hydration and full of electrolytes, so it's a really lovely thing to add to something like a mousse as well.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
And we have some medjool dates here. Now I've just soaked those in a little bit of water so that they become a bit softer. Some almond butter. Now these almonds have been actually soaked, so they've been activated, and then we've ground them into a lovely butter. We have some coconut nectar here. Now this is a sweetener that we use that's taken from the sap of the coconut tree, and it's really, really low in GI, but it's got a beautiful caramelly-like flavour.
Yeah.
And it's just fantastic for adding and making that decadent food.
Okay.
And here, this is the raw cacao, or our raw chocolate. And most chocolate that most people would know of has been highly processed, and all the goodness has been taken out of it in that processing. And as well as they've added milk solids and sugar to it. So, but this, what we're using today, is totally raw. It's only the chocolate. There's nothing in it, and it's very high in magnesium, and it's got some iron and vitamin C in it as well. So it's great.
Yum.
To add
So
to
that would be the healthiest sort of chocolate you could have.
Absolutely, yeah, and it really is a health food for us. It's really great to add some of that into our diet.
Happy days. Okay. What's next?
And we've got some lovely ripe avocado here.
Okay.
So that's going to give us the fluffiness of the mousse and some body, and then we've got some coconut water, which I've just got melting in some warm water to keep
So
it
coconut
liquid.
oil.
Coconut
Yeah.
oil, sorry, yeah.
Okay. Excellent. So how do we start this process? Is it simple? Because it looks a little bit tricky.
No, it's very easy. What you actually need is a high-speed blender.
Yeah.
And because we want it to be very smooth. So this is, I'm using a Vitamix. It's a really powerful blender, and it's really easy. We'll get started, hey?
Okay. So what goes in first?
So what we're going to be putting in is the chia seeds, and we add the coconut water into that.
So that's going to break down the seeds in there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then what we do is we just add the dates, and so we're going to blend these so that the dates end up being very smooth and a bit like a date paste.
Right. Okay. That'll be nice and creamy too.
Now this needs to be blended for a while as well to keep really smooth.
Okay. So that's been blended for a couple of seconds there.
Yeah, so that's nice and smooth. You can see that in there. And then really quite simply, we just add everything else in.
And that's it.
And that's it. And then we
Blend it
just
up.
blend.
Start off slowly and build up.
Now what you do need to do is you need to just blend it a little bit and then mix it around a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just something that doesn't need to be blended on high because it's quite thick. So you just keep blending it, just mix it around and blend it very slowly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's see if that's ready. That's ready.
All right. Perfect. All right. So we've got a nice
Put
little
it there.
glass here.
And I just give it a little bit of a mix around as well, just to make sure that it's really completely done.
Oh, that is so nice and glossy as well. Look at that. That was seriously quick and easy. We're ready for a dinner party right now.
There we go. And look, you can
Maybe we'll just
decorate
eat
it
it.
however you like, but you can just add some strawberries to that.
Lovely.
And what it will need to do is set a little bit. It's just a great way to get all of these things like the chia seeds, the avocado, the beautiful dates, coconut water, get those foods into your diet and still have the treat or the decadent dessert.
Or even breakfast.
You could have it for breakfast. It would probably be more healthy than a lot of people's breakfast.
Yum. Sounds good. I'm going to try that one day.
Love that chocolate mousse? For the full recipe, visit our website.
Why the lunge? Well, the lunge is one of the most effective exercises for the legs and the butt. Today I'm going to show you how to effectively perform the lunge. First of all, take your feet hip width apart and take a big step forward. Keeping the chest up nice and tall, lower the hips, and it's really important to ensure that the front knee remains over the front ankle. And this way we keep the load in the muscles where it needs to be rather than the joints. As we come up, fire up the glutes. There's lots of ways you can make the lunge a little more effective or a little harder. You can add load, so you can add some weights to the lunge, like so, or you can add movement. You can make it dynamic. The lunge is going to be really great for enhancing performance in many sports. It's also fantastic for weight loss and toning. So why not add it to your next workout?
Well, today I've decided to make something a little bit more decadent, a little bit more cheeky. Now, sometimes you feel like a sweet treat. We all get those cravings, and that's why your nanas is fabulous, because you can get your sweet treat hit, but you're not going to get your dairies, your sugars, your preservatives, your colours, your flavours, and all of those nasties. But sometimes you feel like a bit of crunch in your ice cream, in your dessert, and sometimes you just need a little bit of chocolate. Now, these are my absolute favourite chocolates, but they're by Loving Earth, and they're the Love Dew range, which is awesome because they're sweetened with coconut nectar, and they're really high in all of the nutrients like antioxidants, your magnesium, your iron, everything that raw cacao offers you. This one's got orange and gambinge, and this one is my favourite. This is the mint and AFA. So all of your nutrients are taken care of in here, plus your sweet hit, plus it's completely guilt-free, so you can have your chocolate and eat it too, and they're not that big pieces. Look at them, they're so gorgeous. Why wouldn't you want to eat that? These little hearts, perfect gifts as well for presents. And all we're going to do with them today is alternate them with our bananas in our yonanas. So you're going to get the crunch of the chocolate and the sweetness, and we're going to use the mint flavour today, so you're going to get that mint flavour through the yonanas as well. So it's super easy, and this is how we do it. Okay, so all we're going to do is alternate our pieces of banana with our pieces of chocolate. So just 1 and 1's usually a good way to go. If you want to make it more chocolatey, of course, just add more chocolate. So there you go, take a look at the way that's changed in colour and the creaminess. And of course you can see those big pieces of chocolate in there as well. Yum, yum. Now that's going to taste like chocolate and mint ice cream, 100%. But of course you know exactly what's in this. Bananas, no labels on bananas, plus whatever chocolate you put in there, and you can put whatever chocolate you like in there. If you want to put carob, if you want to put your favourite chocolate in there, go for it. But I do like the Love Dews, and I know exactly what's in them, and it's just heavenly. That's really, really crunchy. It's absolutely divine. The amount of things you can do with the bananas is just absolutely amazing. So if you want to get your hands on one of these machines, then head on over to our Facebook page, visit our store on there, and you can get one direct from there. Thanks so much for watching. I think actually I might continue eating this. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Here's a look at what's coming up next week. We visit Earth to Table Cafe.
We also have a huge range of different cakes that are all wheat-free, gluten-free, sugar-free, dairy-free. They look incredible. They're all natural, and we can get some amazing colours with them.
We pick up some tips on how to get more veggies into your kids.
But of course, for 5-year-olds, 10-year-olds and parents out there with older children, just try and make the food as delicious and as fun as possible. I find if children find that the food is fun, or they're in certain, little animal shapes or whatever, just getting creative with their food is lots of fun.
And we've got a delicious green smoothie recipe for you.
I suggest to call it a Shrek smoothie, and then they get a bit excited about that. Oh, Shrek
Yeah.
smoothie, so they'll like that. So
Shrek smoothie. To learn more about anything on today's show, visit our website, totalvitality.tv. It's been great having your company. We look forward to seeing you again next time, where we continue our journey to total vitality.